terms of the actual address position we've got, absolutely fine. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. We're good position there now. You're holding the club nicely. Your spine angle was good. We talked a bit about the different aims, aiming at a spot just in front. And again, straight can be that direction, straight can be there, anywhere you like. Okay, straight towards whatever you're aiming for is still straight. Although it's not straight with the mat, it can still be in a straight line towards a target. So always try if we can, when you're on the range or hitting some practice shots anywhere, try and hit it towards something, not just hitting it somewhere, okay? Because if there's no target, you can't miss it, can you? On the golf course, there'll always be a target, okay? So once you hit it better, what we're trying to avoid now is that movement off the golf ball. There's a lot of lateral movement. If we sort of put a line over your head there, and we watch your swing, even if that club's gone back sort of even just above your ankles, you've moved off the ball now a good half head, and as you go back even further, we're still moving off the golf. So all that movement back now away from the golf ball, you then got to move all the way back here to get back to the golf ball, and then move that way to get power. So you're increasing so much more movement than you need to as you come back to this golf ball now. You don't quite come back there low enough, okay? And then you've got to move through there. There's a lot of lateral movement in that swing. When you time it well, it's okay. If we don't time it so well, the contact will be effective, okay? In terms of the movement we want to try and create, I've got a line across the top of your head there now, okay? As we swing back now, you can see head staying a lot more centered over the ball there. That left foot is staying down. What we've got to try to do though is start getting the hinge of the wrists at the top. See how your arm just collapsed now, close your hands and your head now. That's all collapsed in there quite close, isn't it, okay? I think probably more long term we'll look at the sort of width in the swing, but if we can stay on top.
Further out, you mean?
Yeah, I mean what we're looking for really with your left arm there, it should be really, if I go back to here, your left arm should be more out that way in the club, creating the angle with the wrist hinge, but because your arm's collapsing here.
So it's my wrist I've got to hinge, not my elbow.
Exactly. From here now, there has to be a hinge somewhere. Either comes from the wrist or it comes from the elbow, okay? If it comes from nowhere and you try and keep your arm straight, the arm will just eventually give way and will collapse. So I think focus mainly on one thing in terms of the body movement. If we're adding a sway into it, even if you don't bend your arm so much, but you're still swaying laterally, you're adding in an extra move we don't need to try and worry about, okay? So again, focus on one thing at a time. Last week we looked at sort of set up and sequence at address, getting yourself set up correctly. And to be fair to you, even with the same time frame, no chance to practice, you're standing the golf ball perfectly. So you've got the correct grip, you've got the correct position there, nice posture, you're standing the golf ball correctly. So you've done that just through the first session. Now we're working at maybe a little bit of understanding of the aim, but working on getting the body to work better. I think we'll probably tinker with the arm swing in terms of wrist hinge and things that are going on there as we move on later on, okay? So don't try and overthink things there. Top of the backswing there, good. Now we can swing back to the golf ball and we can move left, creating the power that this shot needs to be used, and right the way through. Again, finish position now is looking fantastic, okay? Really good position there now. Right foot up on its toe, right the way through to target, all your weight on the left side. To get there, sort of an early sort of lesson, okay? On terms of second lesson now, rather than other ones have had lots more lessons. I've had guys come for lessons, men and women, who take months and months to get to that position. Okay, so the fact you're there now is a definite tick, definite plus. If we can just again get the body working better, your left foot.
My elbow's bending too much.
A little bit more collapsing in the arm. So I'd look at mainly the position at the top. If we look at your left hand one now there, I would say you don't look very stable there, whereas there you do. You're a lot more stable on the right. So your body, we start working at the engine, the golf swing, okay, is inside that circle, okay? The arms will sort of follow suit with that, okay? If we try and think about the arms, the elbows, the wrist, and all the things, the body won't do the correct movement, and you'll go back to doing this again, which means you're not going to get any more improvement in the shots, okay? So focus on the body movement being better, work and practice on that. Simple little drill. I'll give you a couple of drills we can work on now, but just to sort of demonstrate. You can get yourself sort of set up if the sun ever comes out, okay? And the sun's ever...
in the garden.
If you've got space where the sun's... Get the sun sort of somewhere above your head there, around about sort of 1 o'clock-ish. So what you'll see now is your shadow would be somewhere around here. Okay, my drawing for stick man. So you look something like that on the ground, okay? And then obviously your arms would be sort of there hitting the golf ball. Now, as you swing, if your shadow head moves this way, you're swaying, aren't you? If it stays in the right spot, you're not swaying. So the shadow will tell you, are you moving laterally or are you staying? And by doing it around about sort of 1 o'clock-ish, if you can, where your head will be roughly around where the golf ball would be. So you'd be looking down at the ground. If you do it sort of in the evening sometime, your head will be way over there somewhere. It's not a natural place to swing. So try and do it so when you're doing this position, the shadow of your head will be somewhere around here. So you're still looking down at where the ball would be. Okay? And you can try and work with it. The other one we can do up against a wall. You get yourself up against the wall with your forehead there, just arms across your shoulders, and just rotate, keeping the sort of same point fixated with your head on the wall. I'll show that in a second there just to demonstrate, but it just helps you now get the understanding of how your body rotates rather than moving laterally. If you're doing that movement there up against a wall and your head was up against there and you moved that far across your forehead, you'd see it rubbing against the wall, you'd feel it. Okay, so it's just trying to get the body to be working a lot more effectively, a lot more stable, rather than adding movement into the golf swing laterally and up and down. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah,
So we're trying to minimise the thought. Okay, I know we said about doing the wrist hinge, but I wouldn't worry about that. That will just take on its own cause as we go through it. Okay, get the body working better. Things will happen as we go through. Okay.